Destination World Tour workshop, and today is our third one, focused on Russia. And we would like to happy to welcome also our VP Sales and Operations South and Southeast Asia, Rito Kaufman, as well our colleague in Russia to join us today. And so for today's session, we will very focus on our beautiful destination, Russia. With the team will present at least 4 favorite city in the destination. And welcome to you all. And we just wait a little bit, about a couple minutes to have the participants to join us. Once again, today we would like to thank you for all participants. Even you have joined either from your participant desktop or maybe from the meeting room join together. We welcome all of you and thank you once again. So before we starting our session, let me invite our Vice President South and Southeast Asia. Rito, you would like to give some words to all the participants and audience. Rito, you mute. Okay. Oh, sorry. Rito, we cannot hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Okay, technology is a new version of Zoom, so I was unable to unmute myself. My big apologies to everyone. No, it's great to see so many of you back. I think we have now we have completed 4 webinars so far. And I'm very pleased to see agents from Vietnam. We have tour leaders joining in. We have agents from Myanmar, Cambodia. There are also some possible from Laos. It's great to have today a chance to reach out to you, to bring you closer a wonderful destination. I think Russia for us is a very strategic destination, even more because we have our own office set up. So you will meet today the dream team from Moscow. There's Polina, Julia, Anna, who will obviously try to explain you the beauty of destination Russia, to show you also some ideas in regards to incentives. We talk a bit about small groups. We introduce you Murmansk, an area where you can also see the midnight sun. So we try to give you a broad idea on the destination Russia. And as I said, strategic for us, we have our very own contracting in Russia. We have our team on the ground. You meet today some of them in person. And lastly, I think these sessions today, they should open you the eyes, right? What is possible. But what we want to continue with you, we want to stay connected with you. So if you have any particular questions after today's workshop, reach out to the sales team under Karen, and we can discuss your itineraries, your incentive proposal individually with you to find really the best solution for you to host you in a perfect way in Russia. So with this, I would like to say once again a big thank you for making time for us today. And we are looking forward also for the next webinar. We have planned for you another session this week where we go a little bit further north again to Denmark. So hopefully you will enjoy today. And thank you ever so much, Team Russia, for making time for us once again. And yeah, please welcome the ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. It's a big honor for us to present Russia. So now we will, I hope now everyone can see our screen and our presentation. And so, of course, we will start with our team introduction. So we have 2 offices in Russia, one in Moscow and one in Saint Petersburg. And both offices operated for more than quite a lot years, more than 25 years, from 1992. And we have long-term relationships with all suppliers. We have direct contracts with all service providers. And we give 24/7 emergency support in English for all our guests who comes to Russia. And we are able to handle successfully both volume business and specialized business. Next, please. And we would like to start with visa support, because we know that visa is a main restriction for people who would like to come to Russia. And Kuani Tumlare is able to provide a visa support letter, but we know very well the specialty of Vietnamese market, and we know that aside from the visa support letter, we also need to provide a hotel payment proof and a regional hotel voucher, and all these documents we had experience with, and we are able to provide for your clients. But of course it will take some time, and we need at least 3-4 working days to prepare these documents, and then we will need to send you original documents. The fastest way is sent by DHL. It will take approximately 3 working days to deliver, and of course additional cost will be applied, but anyway this procedure is possible. And you would probably ask when is the best time to come to Russia, and of course high season for us is from April to October. It's spring and summertime in Russia. It's the best weather here in Moscow and Saint Petersburg. And we need to draw your attention that Moscow is a business city, and we always recommend you to plan Moscow for weekend, because from Friday to Monday we are able to guarantee you best rates for the accommodation, and also city is not that crowded during the weekend. St. Petersburg is a tourist city, tourist destination, so summer in general is a high season for St. Petersburg, and the highest period is the period of white nights, which we have right now, and normally it starts in the middle of May and lasts until the middle of July. So it's the highest demand and the highest hotel rates in St. Petersburg. But this year is special, and probably we will be able to travel only in Q4, which is a winter season in Russia. And Moscow is a still business destination during winter, and even more than in summer, and you still need to plan Moscow for weekend. But in St. Petersburg, we are able to guarantee you best rates and even give some special offers for the low season, for the season from November to March. And of course, Russia is in Russia you can experience a real winter. We have snow from the end of November until the beginning of March, and the average temperature is -5, I would say, but we can offer some special activities for this period. And in Moscow you can experience ice skating. We have several ice skating rinks in the city, and the most beautiful and famous one is situated right on a red square, so you can enjoy winter activity and see the beautiful architecture around. Another option is horse sleigh rides. This activity is available in St. Petersburg, in Moscow, and towns of Golden Ring outside of Moscow. You probably know about the Radisson cruise, which is very famous and popular in Moscow, but I'm not sure that you know that Radisson cruise is operated all year round, and Radisson cruise is actually an icebreaker. And it's even more interesting to enjoy the cruise when the Moscow River is covered with ice, and this wide, beautiful yacht is going through this ice, and you can hear how ice is crashing. And of course, next activity is available all year round. Yes, all year round, but in winter it can really warm you up. Of course, it's the vodka tasting, which I would say is a must do during the winter activities, available in Moscow and Saint Petersburg and almost every place, every restaurant you visit. And talking about the COVID situation in Russia, we need to say that still our borders are closed, and we don't have official information yet when our country will be opened for guests again. We hope it will be 15th of July, but we don't have any official information yet. And we all still work from home now, at least until 15th of June. Most of the offices work remotely from home. All the public events are cancelled, but now slowly we start to come back to a normal life, because shopping centers and some shops starts to open. People are allowed to go out for some work, and some factories are allowed to back to normal. And during this time, all our hotels were opened, but with reduced number of rooms, and with the meal as a room service only. So we slowly come to a normal life, and we really hope that soon we will be able to welcome our guests in our beautiful country again. And now I will pass the word to Ksenia, who will travel with you through Moscow, our capital. Ksenia.
Thank you. Some problems with connection and with my microphone. Okay, hello dear colleagues once again, and thank you so much for your interest to our destination. And let's start our journey. I think it's reasonable to do from Moscow, because Moscow, it's not only our capital, but also the biggest and the most advanced city in Russia, with a lot of attractions and a great history behind. Moscow Standard City Tour lasts 3 hours and embraces all well-known sites like Red Square, St. Basil's Cathedral, GUM Department Store, Moscow State University, Sparrow Hills Observation Platform with a new product cableway, Novodevichy Convent, and Arbut Street as a possible extension. This is a pedestrian area with a lot of souvenir shops, restaurants, and other entertainments, so it's a very good place for shopping. Talking about our main entrances, it's necessary to tell you about the Kremlin Museum. It's a must-visit place in Moscow, and we include it in all our programs. The Kremlin is an ancient fortress with a lot of medieval squares, cathedrals, and other buildings in traditional Russian style. There are 2 separate excursions: the territory with cathedrals and armor chamber, our treasure house. And since this year, we will have to provide all our groups with headsets. It's a new rule of the museum. We are also very proud of our metro. It's Moscow subway. It's not only a transport system for us, but also a symbol of Soviet times, when it was built as a palace for common people. So it's so big, so beautiful, so bright. And here we have to divide big groups, because maximum group size now is just 20 bucks. It also means that we will have to order an extra guide for excursion, or some guides if group is big. Kolomensky. It used to be a royal estate in the 17th century, and according to historical documents, it had been so beautiful that modern masters were inspired to restore this legendary wooden palace. And fortunately, now we can arrange different excursions, master classes, and the highlight of this place, surely, Russian wedding ceremony. This is an interactive performance where our guests can participate. They can try out historical costumes, and usually it's real fun. Another one, wooden masterpiece in Moscow, is Izmailovo Kremlin. This newly constructed complex looks like a colorful town from Russian fairy tales, and it's a good place for taking nice photos, for participating in different folk art masterclasses like Matryoshka painting, and for visiting Vodka Museum with degustation, surely. Well, move on and let me tell you about some more places. Bunker 42, it was a real bunker under the city center, but now it's a museum related to the Cold War with the United States. It was constructed in case of atom attack. And now you can learn more about our military history here. Next, I would like to mention an outstanding observation platform. This is Panorama 360. It's located in a skyscraper in the modern Moscow city district. It is the highest observation deck in Europe with giant glass walls and amazing city views. And also there are two factories, chocolate and ice cream. Both locals and tourists like Sparrow Hill's natural observation platform for its amazing city views, but now this experience could be enhanced by a trip on cableway. It goes across the Moscow River and gives an opportunity to see the city from the other side. To show the diversity of Russia and to enrich our clients' experience, we often include a short trip outside Moscow to Sergiev Posad. Travel time is approximately an hour and a half, and the key attraction there is the Trinity Lavra of St. Sergius. This is a big and ancient religious complex surrounded by a very picturesque countryside area. And it's very popular among our pilgrims because it was founded by a very esteemed St. Sergius, and we really believe that it is a place of power. But if you're looking for something unstandard for your group, we can recommend you following options. Food market experience could be really very interesting. Some fruits, vegetable, and local food are unusual for foreigners. So it could be a really very unique experience. Our guide will show tourists around, will tell them about the most curious and tasty things, and will recommend what to buy, what to try. So it's a good chance to visit our markets. Some years ago, Moscow got a new landmark, Zaryadye. This is a unique park next to Red Square with a wonderful floating bridge in the middle. You can see this on the photo. This park is divided into 4 Russian climate zones with all typical plants and trees. And since it's free and it takes just 40 or 30 minutes to have a walk there, we recommend to include it in our programs as well. Patriot Park is an open-air museum, very popular now, and it's located outside Moscow. Well, okay, we'll try. Now, is it better now? Hope so. So let's continue about Park Patriot. We call it Russian Military Disneyland, and it's really so. There are 2 parts, a museum part with a range of different tanks, military aircrafts and vehicles, and an interactive part where different military games could be arranged. Bedenhan is traditionally associated with the Soviet Union. The government projected this area as a huge exhibition center with a park with magnificent pavilions, with golden sculptures, and it's very beautiful, really. Last year it was fully renovated, and now it's ready to meet new visitors. It's also free. And there are some options for evening entertainment in Moscow, and the most popular among these options is Moscow State Circus with a magic acrobatic performance. And also here I can emphasize Kostroma Theater, like an option for folk theater in Moscow. Here we can see a sample of itinerary. Yes, and covering some of mentioned highlights. 4 days and 3 nights are usually enough for visiting Moscow, and we combine this program with St. Petersburg. You will see the extension a little bit later. We know that some of our tourists are shopping lovers, so here we mentioned some good places for shopping, like Luxurious Gum and Sum, and Afimol and Outlet Village, our modern shopping centers. And there are some ways to get to St. Petersburg from Moscow, and the most convenient among them is Sapsan Train. It takes just 4 hours to get to St. Petersburg, and no need to drive far away to the airport because both railway stations are located in the city centers. Sapsan can provide 2 seat categories, business and economy classes. Business class is more comfortable and includes 1 meal. That's all for now about Moscow. Polina, please continue.
Thank you. And we will continue our journey with Saint Petersburg. It's our cultural capital, and also we call it Venice of the North because Saint Petersburg is located on more than 42 canals on Gulf of Finland. Standard city tour in Saint Petersburg also takes 3 hours. To the next, please. And we always recommend to include entrance to Peter and Paul Fortress, as it is a historical birthplace of St. Petersburg. We also suggest to include one of the cathedrals. It can be St. Isaac Cathedral or a Spilled Blood Church, which is a great example of traditional Russian architecture. Canal cruise can be offered as an extension because it usually takes 1 hour to enjoy St. Petersburg view from water. This is a seasonal activity available from beginning of May until the end of September or middle of October, depending on weather. And it's really a nice experience. All the other sites can be covered as a photo stops or just a view from a coach. There are 3 main entrances in St. Petersburg. And the most famous one, of course, is the Hermitage Museum, which has a great, very big collection of Western European art. Hermitage has a very rich collection, and the briefest, the fastest, and a very really very fast excursion takes approximately 2 hours, and we can't spend less than 2 hours in the Hermitage. Another 2 important museums are located approximately 1 hour drive from St. Petersburg. And these 2, Peterhof and Tsarskaya Selo with its Catherine Palace, are former summer residences of Russian Tsars. And Peterhof is very famous with its beautiful park with magnificent golden fountains. And it is possible to include both palace and park, or just visit a park there. There is a fast and alternative way how to get to Peterhof, and it's a fast speedboat hydrofoil. It's available during summertime, and it takes only 30 minutes to get from the pier near Hermitage to Peterhof. And hydrofoil very much depends on weather, and it can be cancelled due to strong wind and strong rain. Catherine Palace in Tsarskoye Selo is very well known with its amber room, where everything is made with the real amber, the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. But Catherine Palace is the most popular and the most high demanded museum in Russia. And that's why it is quite complicated to book tickets, to buy tickets for our international guests for the Catherine Palace. So, so far, all our groups managed to get inside, but we have to mention here that we are not able to guarantee any entrance day or entrance time before tickets are purchased and before the excursion is confirmed. Talking about some unusual experiences in St. Petersburg, we can mention some maybe new, some interesting activities. Rooftop excursion is an excursion in St. Petersburg city center. There are no skyscrapers there, so from almost any place of a city you can see the very romantic and magnificent view of St. Petersburg colorful roofs. And this experience is absolutely safe and legal. With supplier we provide this. Another interesting activity is a kind of a home visit. It's a visit to the communal apartments. Communal apartments is a very unique thing which is available, I think, only in Russia, and it's kind of a sign of a Soviet culture. It used to be a large luxury apartment during the Tsar's time, but during the Soviet time was privatized by the government and shared between several families. And until now, several families still live in this apartment and sharing kitchen and bathroom. And for sure, just a few communal apartments left in St. Petersburg, and for sure this place can tell lots of Soviet history and can tell lots of secrets to the visitors. Shuvalovka village is a small ethnic village located near Peterhof, 1 hour drive from St. Petersburg, and as well as Izmailova in Moscow, it provides some folkloric activities, some master classes, matryoshka painting master class, for example. We can do the traditional wedding ceremony there, and we can arrange vodka and Russian tea tasting with some folkloric activities as well. As St. Petersburg is our cultural capital, we also provide one interesting experience. It's a visit to a real ballet school where young girls are trained to become ballerinas. And during this visit, our guests can see a part of the class. And in the end, students can show a short performance with the pieces from the famous ballets. Talking about evening entertainment options, of course, St. Petersburg is very famous with its ballet performances, and we always recommend to include ballet performances in St. Petersburg because all the theaters are opened even during summertime, while in Moscow, for example, theaters are closed in summer. But another interesting experience for evening is a folklore show in Nikolaevsky Palace. So you will enjoy the palace interiors, but at the same time a very traditional show. And we also can combine this folklore show with a dinner which can be arranged before or after the show. With local food in palace interiors. Next. And To cover all the main sites in St. Petersburg, we recommend to stay here 4 days and 3 nights. St. Petersburg is usually combined with Moscow, and here you can see extension of the program presented by Ksenia. But St. Petersburg can be also easily combined with the Baltics. It is possible to go to Tallinn by coach or by ferry. And with Helsinki, it is also possible to go by coach or to get to Helsinki by fast-speed Allegro train, which takes only 4 hours to get to Helsinki city center. For shopping lovers, St. Petersburg also has a few options to offer. We have an outlet which is situated near Pulkovo Airport, and also we have right in a city center near the railway station, we have a beautiful big shopping mall called Galleria, which we always highly recommend for our guests. And now Julia will continue with 2 more nice destinations, Murmansk and Sochi.
Thank you, Polina. Hello, dear colleagues. And now let's move to the north and stop at Murmansk. During the Soviet time, Murmansk was closed city as a naval base for the Northern Fleet, but luckily for us, it's open now and slowly developing its tourist infrastructure. Murmansk located above the Arctic Circle, and it's a polar region, and we can see, and that is why we can see natural phenomenon called aurora borealis or northern lights. There on this slide you can see some convenient flights that we usually use for tourist groups. Here's the list of the main spots of interest around Murmansk. First of all, it's icebreaker. It's the first nuclear icebreaker. We can proudly say that was constructed in Russia in the middle of 20th century. It's not functioning now, but it's a museum. It's open for public, and it's one of the popular spots in Murmansk, and we usually include this one into the standard city tour. Another interesting place is Sam Village. It's a kind of village where the indigenous Sam people live. You can see their customs, their traditions, try their traditional foods, play with different animals like elks, reindeer, try a ride on reindeer sleigh. So there are lots of fun. Another interesting place is Teribirka. It's a village located on the coast of Arctic Ocean. The main activity there is snowmobiling along the coast with a magnificent view of Arctic Ocean. But we mentioned here that due to weather conditions, Teribirka can be closed because it's located on the Arctic tundra, and the road can be pathless sometimes, especially during winter time. And in this case, we have kind of substitute of this sport. It's usually Kirovsk. The main activities there is snow village that was made entirely out of snow. But please draw your attention that it's open starting from the end of December and works until the April. And here's the distances, the map with spots that I just mentioned and distances between them. Here's the sample itinerary. 3 days, 2 nights, usually enough to cover all spots of interest around Murmansk. Lenin Icebreaker, Teribirka or Kirovsk, Sun Village, Hatsky Park. This itinerary is for winter season, and that is why we mention here aurora hunting, the popular activity there to catch northern lights. And now let's move from the north to the south. Sochi, we mention here all-year resort because it's a unique place with the combination of different entertainment. You can see the sea, the mountains, ski resorts. So lots of interesting activities there. Sochi is the main city of the south part of Russia. It's been the beloved resort for Russian tourists, but since 2014, when Russia hosted Olympic Winter Games, we developed infrastructure, and now it's a popular resort not only for Russian tourists, but also for foreigners. Some activities, some interesting activities in Sochi. First of all, it's Rosa Huta, so where winter Olympic Winter Games took place. It's a popular ski resort now, and as well as a summer entertainment. Another interesting place is Sky Park. It's the highest attraction in Europe and the world's longest pedestrian suspension bridge. You can go there at least to enjoy the panoramic views of the mountains, the sea, and the surroundings. For those who are interested in Soviet past of our country, there is interesting museum. It's a summer residence of Stalin. It's a great place to enjoy the Soviet leader, the atmosphere of Soviet culture. And Sochi Central Market, it's a good entertainment where you can try lots of Caucasian delicacies like churchhela, fresh pomegranate juice, and it's a free degustation. Here's the sample itinerary. Solo Sochi. We mentioned the itinerary with 5 days, 4 nights that gives you that can cover all sports of interest in Sochi. That is all for my part, Alina.
Thank you, Julia. And we continue with the hotels. And again, we back to Moscow. On this slide, you can see our key partners. And I would like to remind you that Moscow is a business city, and we recommend to come here from Friday to Monday. In both Moscow and Saint Petersburg, we have 6 hotel categories, where Superior Deluxe is the most luxury 5-star hotels, and tourist category is 3-star hotels. And you can see different colors with the different distances from the city center. And St. Petersburg, I remind you that summer and especially period of white nights is always a high season, and from November to March we are able to give some special offers and guarantee the best rates for this season. Talking about Murmansk and Sochi, in Sochi, after Olympic Games, we have great choice of international chain hotels. We have Radisson, Parkin, we have local Azimuth, we have Marriott, and great choice of 5-star and 4-star in both mountain and sea clusters. Murmansk is not that great in terms of hotel, but very high demanded destination. So high season for Murmansk is winter from November to March, because it's the period of the aurora lights. And we recommend you to plan trips at least 2 months prior, because we have only 2 reliable hotels. It's Azimuth, which is the Russian local chain of the hotels, and we have good relationships with the whole chain, and it's our key partner in Murmansk. And one more 4-star hotel is Parkin, which also can be used for the groups, but not that great as Azimuth. One of the nights can be arranged outside of Murmansk, and we have a kind of igloos with the glass roof and country style houses. And outside of Murmansk, of course, it's much easier to catch the aurora lights. So please plan the trips to Murmansk well in advance, at least 2 months prior for the high season, which is winter. A few words about restaurants. Of course, we have a great choice of the local food. In Moscow and St. Petersburg, we have deluxe and standard restaurants, and variety of choice with the different interiors and different specialities. But we know that for your market, local food is also important. So in both Moscow and St. Petersburg, we have several Vietnamese restaurants. We also have good choice of Chinese restaurants in both Moscow and St. Petersburg. And in Moscow, we have one restaurant with a Thai food. Thai cuisine is really very rare and not really popular here. So we have only one Thai restaurant which is located in Moscow. In St. Petersburg, we unfortunately don't have any. Talking about guides. In Moscow and St. Petersburg, only licensed accredited guides are able to work in all the state museums, in Kremlin, in Hermitage, Peterhof, and Catherine Palace. So we work only with guides who has license and who are allowed to work in Russia. In Moscow, we have 2 licensed Vietnamese-speaking guides. In St. Petersburg, we have only 1. So if you prefer to have a Vietnamese-speaking guide, we really ask you to inform us in advance, and especially for the high season, which is summer normally for us, we recommend you to plan really well in advance. Another option is, of course, English-speaking guide, which is available in both cities, and we have a big choice. And it is also possible here to arrange an English-speaking guide, which has a great experience and has a license for the museums, and a Vietnamese-speaking assistant who lives here in Russia but doesn't have a license to guide inside the museums. This option is, of course, more expensive than licensed Vietnamese guide or licensed English guide, but it can be a decision when, for example, we can't plan the group well in advance. And just a few words about MICE projects. Russian office is quite experienced with MICE. Last year, we have operated more than 10 successful projects, and one of them was um, a big group, 300 people from Vietnam. And we also had experience in handling 2 international events. It was a Sochi Olympic Games in 2014 and FIFA World Cup in 2018. In both projects, we have guests from Japan and Brazil, and we're able to handle them successfully. And for our MICE guests, we can offer some special activities. First of all, it's a tank riding. We usually suggest to do it around Moscow because we have more options here, but it is also possible to arrange tank riding not far from Saint Petersburg. During this activity, we bring the group to the military base camp, and group enjoys tank riding, another military machines riding, and Kalashnikov shooting. They taste some light military meal, which is a buckwheat with strong black tea, so it's kind of a special experience. In St. Petersburg, we are able to provide special private entrances to main museums, to Hermitage Museum, to St. Isaac Cathedral, to Yusupov Palace. In Hermitage, we are also, it is possible to arrange some concerts or some welcome drinks, so we have these opportunities. In St. Petersburg, horse carriage rides are available, and it's really very fun and nice experience when our guests on a horse carriage among the traffic on a Nevsky Prospect, and it's always look very surprising for other people. Another activity is a Star City excursion. Star City is not just a museum, but it's a real cosmonaut training center. So it's really it's a space dedicated, space-related place. But it's as it is a real training center, it's the secured and restricted place, and we need to provide a full list of guests 2 months before the visit, and it's this rule is very, very strict. And talking about the venues, we have venues for the different sizes of the groups. For example, in Moscow, we are able to host groups up to 2,000 people, actually, and we have several venues who can handle this big number of people. St. Petersburg is smaller, and we are able to host groups up to 800 or 1,000 approximately. And St. Petersburg is very famous with its palace-style venues, and we have good choice for the different budget. And in St. Petersburg, we usually give more classical venues. So that was shortly about our destination. Thank you very much for your attention, and your questions are very welcome.
Thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Julia and Team Russia, to spend your time joining with us for today's session. And I would like to invite all participants, if you have any concern or question, you can raise your question in the chat box so that we can reply or we can answer you. So on the question, I welcome, and we're waiting for your question, because now at this moment we're quite confident to sell Russia to Vietnam and also Indochina, Indochina markets. As now we have very strong team there, and I do believe that with our support and also the team from Russia, we can also handle very well the destination in terms of laser and big incentive group, even my group, and also in the last 2 years, we're also very confident with some of the project, and also my group come to Russia. And thank you for the team to support us for the Asian, from Vietnam, and also Indochina. So maybe I may asking for maybe for our fun script and Q&A. Maybe we can gather the question from our agent one again later after the session. And maybe as our session, we would like to very welcome you either question or maybe the feedback from you all for our destination workshop, because we will do during again this May, June, and July every Tuesday and Thursday. And we're looking forward to hearing from you, not just only the question, and also your feedback and survey, so that we can make this better, and also looking forward how to serve you better with our support from local team and also from our sales team in Vietnam and Indochina. With that, maybe a little bit more fun, I would like to go to the fun script. So maybe Paulina, maybe I ask you for 3 questions, maybe one by one, and then same as our 4 session before, we're looking for correct one and also honest one to have the very a gift by Starbucks coffees or maybe properties delivery to their office before the next session. So maybe one by one question, and also participant, we would looking your answer in the chat box.
Okay, just a second.
Yes.
Just a second. Okay. Okay, so if you don't have any questions to us, we have questions to you. Yes. So the first one, the first question is, please, do you remember from our presentation what is famous pedestrian street in Moscow? Famous pedestrian street full of souvenir shops, cafes. What is the name of this street? Yeah, I actually have the options to answer, but we have already. But I will let you know the options. So it's Tverskaya Street, Arbat Street, Nevsky Prospect, or all the mentioned streets. Shopping street in Moscow, pedestrian one. Okay, thank you. And next one. What is the place where you can see the famous acrobatic performances in Moscow? The options are Moscow State Circus, while sightseeing you can see this, in the hotel, or during Kostroma folk show. What is the place where you can see the famous acrobatic performances in Moscow? Okay, the first answer. Next question is, what is
Paulina, just a moment. So may I clarify that the first question, the correct answer is on Patrice, is it correct? So yes, once again, I would like to congratulations on Larry Long one again for the correct answer, and also Sunis one in the chat box. And the second one? circus. Is it okay?
Circus is correct. Yes, yes.
And also, I would like to congratulations for the second winner, Anh Cường Jimmy from Saigon Tourist Hanoi. Congratulations. Now we go with the third one.
Yeah, thank you. What is the alternative way to get to Peterhof from St. Petersburg city center, which takes only 30 minutes? The options are hydrofoil, horse carriage ride, on foot, or by coach. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, and we already have the correct answers, right? And the correct one is hydrofoil.
Hydrofoil. So once again, correct along for the second prize for today's session as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for the other participants, I just would like to ask you to be more quicker and sooner, because otherwise alone will be winning on the funds rate from our fund rates. But thanks for your attention, and also do not forget that we also have the destination certificates, and as mentioned, we already go through the 4 sessions for Nordic, and we will add in on one more question on the Thursday, and after 5 sessions for Nordic, we will have one of the mini tests for Nordic as well. After this session, we will send in you the mini test link for Russia to be Russia Destination Expert Certificate. So join us for this Thursday and then do the true mini test to win Russia and also Nordic Destination Expert Certificate. Also, we would like to reconfirm once again for our upcoming session on June and July. So welcome you for every Tuesday and Thursday with us. So we just finished Russia with our team from Saint Petersburg and Moscow to present this Russia. We would like to invite you and also welcome you once again for the North region for Thursday of June with Nordic Park 5, Denmark and Faroe Island. We also coming to Baltic area with Estonia, Latvia, and also Lithuania by Thursday 11th of June. And also we will reconfirm you once again with the reminding for all the session in June and July. So thank you so much. And then we're looking forward to seeing you soon once again. And once again, thank you, Paulina, Julia, and also the team in Russia to join us and also spending your time to present to our agent. Have a nice day. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.